Help! The average August day at the New Orleans Office of Motor Vehicles means watching the hour hand slowly crawl forward.
4 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
You gotta wait hours just for an ID.
Scores of people hoping the next flashing red number on the wall will match their ticket before the office shuts down for the day and everyone's sent home no matter what time they got in.
We've been in here for an hour and a half and they have called 2 numbers. And I still have 10 people in front of me.
When I walked in the door, they announced 3:34, and I've been here for 45 minutes, and they just now got to 3:35.
This group that I'm in was only going like 10 minutes at a time, and I had 17 people in the group ahead of me.
That's 3 hours.
People regularly bail, hoping another day will mean better luck.
We came yesterday afternoon, and it was like 2 o'clock, and they said they had 40 people ahead of us.
We found more than 30 people lined up at 6:45 in the morning, more than an hour before the OMV opened one Friday, all choosing to wait outside the locked doors.
Otherwise, if you come in the middle of the day, you're going to be waiting for 4 hours or 3 hours to get anything done. So it's easier just to get here really early and then not have to wait so long during the day.
We're experiencing embarrassingly long wait times for customers.
Embarrassing, but when state OMV officials look at their official wait time data, the average day looks very different from the people we spoke with. Fox 8 obtained wait time records from August 1st to August 21st of this year. The data shows the average customer waited an hour and a half at the Veterans Boulevard location during that time. The Louisiana Commissioner of the Office of Motor Vehicles, Stephen Campbell, says that average wait time is unacceptable.
We don't want people to have to wait any longer than a half hour, 45 minutes. That's sort of a goal. It's difficult to put a goal out there and not have the resources to accomplish it.
According to a legislative audit released in March, the Office of Motor Vehicles has reduced its workforce by nearly 1/3 over the past decade. Public-private partnerships with other companies have grown. The state allows the businesses to perform basic OMV-type transactions for a fee up to $18, which is supposed to ease OMV traffic. In 2012, the audit says the businesses handled more than 900,000 transactions that would have otherwise been done at the OMV, though the wait times are still an issue.
Bring your lunch.
According to the official data, at least 5 people waited more than 5 hours in the first 3 weeks of the month. Campbell said the longest wait times were for the most complicated transactions, but nearly everyone we spoke with had longer wait times than the 1.5-hour average, no matter what type of transaction they were making. What time did you come in this morning?
11:20.
So how long were you waiting?
11:20 means right now it's around 4:20. That means about 5 hours.
About 5 hours?
Yes.
And how long have you been waiting here?
Like almost 5 hours.
So you got here at 8:30, and it's 11:20 right now. You still haven't been seen.
Right.
Tensions and frustrations rising, customer after customer.
You shouldn't have to wait all of this time for an ID. It's just ridiculous.
But the commissioner of the OMV doesn't believe these stories.
Everybody has a tendency to overestimate the amount of time that they are actually there, and I understand that. An hour and a half is too long to wait.
The commissioner stuck to the official data, even when we showed him a video of different people explaining how long they waited. He watched and listened to people like Ariana Marabani, who was there to take her permit test. Do you have the ticket that shows when you got here?
Yes. 11:54 a.m.
She waited until the office closed after 4:30, and she was never seen.
You saw some of the people we spoke with, and they have longer times than listed on this sheet.
Say they do.
Right, they say they do. Is there the possibility that these times are off because of what it's not counting, or is it not a representation of what people are
I
going
would
through?
tell you that people didn't tell you the truth. I would tell you that. And that's all I can say to you. I don't want to call anybody a liar, but there's no, this is the best system that we have.
A system that may not represent these stories. Of the people we spoke with after the clock ran out and they were told there wasn't enough time in the workday for them to be seen.
I had one number and they put me out. I was next, the next number, and they put me out. That is God awful.
Lee Isaacson, Fox 8 News.
I had one number left and they put me out.
Customers say their day is wasted at the Veterans Boulevard OMV.
I got here at 1 o'clock and sat and waited and waited and waited, and they never did call my number.
Hours watching the clock tick towards closing time, knowing their patience may be in vain.
You shouldn't have to wait all of this time for an ID. It's just ridiculous.
We were there as dozens of customers were asked to leave at the end of a Friday, no matter if they had taken off work to be there, and no matter how long they had waited to be seen.
The real frustration is that, you get a $25 cab ride out here, you wait around for 2 hours, you blow what could possibly be an entire day, and then you have to blow another 25 to get back home, and nothing happened. That's the legitimate frustration, if there is one.
None more frustrated than customer Davion Lewis.
I had one number and they put me out. I was next, the next number, and they put me out. That is God awful.
But the despair from that day doesn't amount to the rage Lewis says she felt when hearing the Commissioner of Motor Vehicles tell Fox 8 News that he didn't believe her story or the stories of many others.
I would tell you that people didn't tell you the truth. I would tell you that. And that's all I can say to you. I don't want to call anybody a liar, but there's no, this is the best system that we have.
I think that was very unfair for him to say that we were exaggerating the wait times.
The system records wait times from the moment a customer takes a ticket to when their number is called. For the first few weeks of August, the system showed that the average wait time for customers ranged from 54 minutes on August 21st to 2 hours and 14 minutes on August 12th. The system does not reflect the time it takes to get the ticket, and to many customers, it simply doesn't reflect their experiences at all.
A lot of people took off from work, expecting to wait 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and we end up waiting 4 hours. So I do think that's unfair. He did call us liars, and just the wait time, it just wasn't fair.
Lewis agrees with many other customers that the problem could be solved with more workers.
All they would have to do is open up a few more stalls and we could get this moving.
According to a legislative audit released in March, the Office of Motor Vehicles reduced its full-time employee workforce by 29% over the past decade, cuts that customers believe are clearly visible.
And they got so many cubicles that are like nobody's there.
When they have 3 people working behind the counter and they have 17 stalls and we pay for the money to put 17 stalls in and we're not utilizing it to its full ability, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Fox 8 News obtained data that shows 20 employees work at the Veterans Boulevard location. Every day, one person is assigned to be a cashier, to be a greeter, to work the camera station, to work the testing room, and to do road testing. August is also a popular vacation month at the OMV, and every day in the first 3 weeks, at least one person was out sick. The rest were assigned to customer service. Commissioner Stephen Campbell recognizes the challenge.
And anybody who has a service-related business in this world will tell you, boy, if I just had some more people, I could do it. Well, the economics of that don't work out.
It's not the answer frustrated customers are looking for.
I'm just renewing my license. So, I don't know, I see a lot of the different desks are unattended, and Friday's a high volume day, and people have been waiting for hours and hours, and I don't get it.
We pay taxes, so if this needs to go up to Bobby Jindal or whomever facilitate the funds into these areas, this is ridiculous.
Lee Isaacson, Fox 8 News. Whether a customer waited 10 minutes or much longer,
4 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours. We waited.
they were told to leave when the clock struck closing time, no matter if they were seen or not.
I had one number and they put me out. I was next, the next number, and they put me out. That is God awful.
It's the state policy for all motor vehicle offices to get to every customer who takes a number before 4 o'clock, and the commissioner of motor vehicles didn't believe it was any different at the Veterans Boulevard location.
I would tell you that people didn't tell you the truth. I would tell you that. And that's all I could say to you.
But after seeing this video from our Fox 8 investigation of dozens of customers streaming out of the office when they were told to leave, Campbell took a look at their own surveillance video and found people had been getting kicked out at the end of the day for weeks.
Were you surprised by what you saw?
Yeah, particularly because we asked the day before and were told that that wasn't going on.
He says the office manager claimed that this wasn't happening.
And the lady is telling you that you may or may not be seen today. That's ridiculous.
She took it upon herself to go outside of the state policy and close the doors and not see people even if they were here before 4 o'clock.
That did occur. It most assuredly occurred. And I apologize if any viewer thought that I was trying to cover up something. I certainly wasn't. We had asked the day before the interview and were told by the manager that that was not going on. We determined that that wasn't truthful.
That decision has been affecting everyone's wait time when groups of people had to line up in the morning after not being helped on a day before.
We came yesterday afternoon, and it was like 2 o'clock, and they said they had 40 people ahead of us.
You may or may not get waited on.
Was it the right thing to do? It was the wrong thing to do, and we have corrected it.
Corrected it, Campbell says, by counseling the office manager, who has worked at the Office of Motor Vehicles for at least 17 years, on the proper protocols. And they'll continue to monitor her activity, seeing to it that she increases the productivity of her employees.
Just to be clear, she's in the same position now.
She is in the same position at this time. We're reviewing her performance and have given her some goals over the next quarter.
Meanwhile, he's taking new steps to improve wait times.
The kiosk would be right here.
Right here.
The plan is, in 3 months, the New Orleans office will be the first in the state to have self-service computers for quick transactions, like renewing your driver's license or turning in a license plate.
This is a work in progress.
A kiosk, along with many other changes, so customers won't have to endure the wait times the commissioner now understands they've been dealing with all along. Lee Isaacson, Fox 8 News.
This is the fastest DMV we've ever gone to, like 45 minutes.
This is what the Office of Motor Vehicles looks like at 4 o'clock. Quiet, with just a few people leaving at a time. Compare that to this stampede a few months ago.
I had one number and they put me out. I was next. The next number and they put me out. That is God awful.
In August, customers at the Office of Motor Vehicles on Veterans Boulevard regularly left outraged after waiting in line for what state officials called embarrassing amounts of time.
4 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
You gotta wait hours just for an ID.
At first, the Office of Motor Vehicles Commissioner, Stephen Campbell, didn't believe it.
I would tell you that people didn't tell you the truth. I would tell you that. And that's all I could say to you. I don't want to call anybody a liar, but there's no, this is the best system that we have.
Through our investigation, we learned the manager of this branch was kicking the customers out at 4:30, no matter how long they had waited, and lying to her bosses about it.
She took it upon herself to go outside of the state policy and close the doors and not see people even if they were here before 4 o'clock.
That did occur. It most assuredly occurred. And I apologize if any viewer thought that I was trying to cover up something. I certainly wasn't. We had asked the day before the interview and were told by the manager that that was not going on. We determined that that wasn't truthful.
It wasn't until the commissioner saw our footage that he realized it was time for major changes. Now we've learned the manager voluntarily demoted herself and is moving to another office. With a new manager in place, no one is getting kicked out without being helped.
That, as I mentioned earlier, was not our policy, and we have, of course, corrected that. Our new manager there is fully aware of that, and that if you're in line by 4 o'clock at the office, you will be served.
Campbell says they've made other back office changes that should improve efficiency. For one, you can now schedule a time for you or your teen's driver's test. And to lighten the customer load at the Veterans Boulevard location, an express office will be opening within the month in New Orleans East.
The kiosk would be right here.
Right here.
Campbell told us he's still waiting for the state to approve the ability to use credit cards at motor vehicle locations so he can install a kiosk at the Veterans Boulevard branch. It would be the first of its kind in the state and would be able to complete simple transactions. But you don't need a kiosk to see customers are happier already.
This is the first time I have ever come out this fast. No problem whatsoever.
Wow.
So 20 minutes.
About 30 minutes. I was here about 30 minutes.
Just make sure your ride knows about the improved efficiencies at the OMV now too, so your wait time doesn't add up on the curb after you've been helped.
Listen, I've been waiting here for 20 minutes now.